Hi everybody, welcome to Wagger's Top Tips. Now you've probably seen me in numerous videos using the Wagtail. This is a modified version, but I only use this on a pole. Whatever you do, don't use this in your hand, it won't work. It only works on a pole really, because I put the pad on top instead of where it usually resides, underneath the blade. So when you put it in your hand it's spot on for that, but when you've got it on a pole, the reason I prefer the pad up here when it flips over the top is that when you come to do a window, can you imagine this on a pole, and this is the window outside. I'm just using this as a demo, pretend it's outside. The reason is that I can wet a window, lift it off, and the pad's still in place, and you can go and wet the next one ready to clean it, rather than trying to flip it from underneath and bang it onto the glass. You'll understand what that means if you try to use it yourself. So that's the main reason. Now these springs, they also help to keep the blade dead level at all times. That way you get a lot more control into the corners. But one of the main reasons is because of this detailing tool you might have seen me use. Now I only need to detail the top edge generally because, as you know, I devised this method of dog earing, new type of dog earing, where you just saw into the corners. I mean, see my other videos, right? And you bend these upwards and towards the corners. It's like two fingers really pointing towards the edges of the blade, and what this does, stops the actual rubber from bending right round. And normally, even with windows with rubber surrounds, you really don't need to you really don't need to detail the edges, but the top edge you will. So that's what this is for, on the end of the pole, and the springs on the thing will keep it level so that you can just swivel it around in your hand and you can detail the top edge there, which generally should, once you've got enough skill and you've got this set up right, should be the only time you need to detail really. Now the reason I've got the springs as well, if you can imagine that the roof line of some houses is very very close to the top of the window. So what happens if you don't have the springs on is it will fall to one side or the other. I can demonstrate that by just holding my finger. If it fell down like that, which it usually would, what tends to happen is your blade, I don't know if you can see that on the top of the roof there, it catches on the roof, so you can't actually do the job properly and interferes quite a lot. But when it's level like this, it just automatically stays in the middle. You can squeegee your window, swivel the pole right round, detail the edge, move on. So that's it basically, job done.